Al-Aqsa TV, Hamas, May 11, 2000.
Hey, it's funny. It's actually training them to blame the Jews for everything.
Yes.
Why did it's awesome. Did everyone catch that? It's, hey, why did you cheat on your work? Because the Jews.
Yeah. You know how we joke about I couldn't do it because the dog ate my homework, or
I did it because the Jews bombed my house.
Instead of that, you learn to say, well, because the Jews, they destroyed my house. That's why I couldn't find my notebook. That's why I cheated during the exam. The Jews
and then
destroyed my homework.
The Western version of that will now be, hey, why didn't you do your homework? Oh, because I was so upset about Jews blowing up Palestine that I couldn't focus on my homework. Oh, okay, free pass. You get a free pass on that and at Harvard. You get a free pass at Harvard. Your Harvard professor will say, oh, okay, I get that.
That's going to be a very real future very soon. Let's see.
Good, love, and justice, and slaughtering Jews.
I watched this part and I thought, hey, that looks quite.
That's good. That's good.
It's quite peaceful.
Yeah, I like that. Never mind. I like this show.
Inclusivity and all of that. But then, okay, let's watch this part. This is good. Ask the Jews, did they ever live in a time period better than the one they lived under Islam?
Yeah, no, it's best. The living under Muhammad and being expelled and exterminated was the best time in history.
Yeah. And ask the Christians how their security was assured in the churches and the monasteries when they were not allowed to openly, declare and practice their religion and build churches.
Yeah, and when they were also expelled from the Arabian Peninsula, and just ask how things are going in what was then the biggest, grandest church in the world, Hagia Sophia. Just ask them how much they appreciate our love and compassion.
Yeah.
كنا يوما أتذكرون الأندلس بهذا الأندلس الحبيب
ونذكركم أحبابنا الأطفال يا من سكنتم في قلوبنا أن مجد أمتنا وحضارتها.
The glory and the civilization of the Ummah, of the Islamic nation, you shall restore.
But by the way, I've always thought this was I've got a book called The Myth of the Andalusian Paradise, which is explodes the idea that this was, it's so wonderful when Muslims are in charge of Jews and Christians and so on. But I've always, when I hear this, I regard it as like the most pathetic thing in the universe, right? Because in Islam, it's always like, hey, guys, you have 2 billion people. You have like a quarter of the world's population. What kind of good impact? If you go back 1,000 years, hey, if you go back 1,000 years, we had a bang up. What have you done for the world lately? No, if you go back 1,000 years, well, I think it sucked back then too. But suppose it was the Andalusian paradise. How come nothing good ever lasts in Islam? It always gets suffocated by Islam. What have you done for us lately? Well, the Jews bombed our house. What do you expect us to do? Dude, there are like 15 million Jews in the world. You guys outnumber them like 150 to 1. What can you do? What have you done for the world lately? Oh, we can't because of the Jews. The Jews stuff. It's like it's just it sounds pathetic to me. It sounds. My goodness, man. We just talked about this the other day, that Germany got bombed down to the ground basically, and what happened after the war? They just kept rebuilding, even though they were divided up and controlled by other powers. They just keep rebuilding. It's like it's in their DNA to keep rebuilding and so on. Now they have the world's 4th largest economy. Japan, nuclear bombs were dropped on Japan. Their military was crushed. Their entire system broke down. They now have the world's 3rd largest economy. This is recent. This stuff recently happened, like catastrophic destruction of your country, and they just kept rebuilding. And Muslim, well, 1,000 years ago this happened, and that's why we can't do anything ever.
And here you turn the TV on and you learn to blame the Jews, to hate the Jews, to focus on creating an Islamic power and this and that. And it just gets worse. Just look at this one. Let's look at this one. More clips here. This one is translated by Memory TV. How will you sacrifice your soul for the sake of Al-Aqsa? What will you do?
It's like the Hamas version of what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd kill a bunch of Jews.
I will shoot.
ايش هنعمل يعني كيف احنا بدنا يا سنابل نحرر وبعدين هذا حفظناها وبعدين
We want to fight. That voice though, what kind of a voice is that?
احنا بدنا تقولنا اليهود.
Wait, this is a caller. So this is a child calling in on the show and says we want to annihilate the Jews. We will annihilate the Jews.
No, just the Zionists.
Oh yeah.
احنا بدنا تقولنا اليهود.
And yeah, it says directly Yahud, which is the Jews. It's not Zionists or anything.
ندافع عن الأقصى بأرواحنا وبدمائنا ولا لا يا سنابل؟
نحن قلنا أكثر من مرة بأن أستاذية العالم تتطلب التالي. أولاً
to become masters of the world, or rulers of the world, we have to be happy with our Arabic language at first. This is so delusional. Like, you are in the Gaza Strip, which Hamas at that time just took over and turned into a base for terrorism. And what they teach the kids immediately on TV is not just how to kill the Jews and take over, all of the Palestinian territories and destroy Israel, but also to become masters in the world. And
قلنا أكثر من مرة بأن أستاذية العالم تتطلب التالي. أولاً أن نكون سعداء بلغتنا العربية التي سادت في يوم من الأيام هذا العالم. ثانياً ولا بلاش؟
فرفور. إني سمعتك تقول
Farfur.
This is an episode where Farfur is caught speaking English, which he's not supposed to do.
Ooh.
Very, very bad. Can't speak in English.
Yeah, he said we're proud of that. That's English.
Hello. How are you, يا سراء? I hope we're proud of that.
نعم.
مالك يا فرفور؟ انت ليش هيك بتحكي؟ مش احنا اتفقنا ان نحكي باللغة العربية الفصحى؟
لكنها هذه اللغة، نعم هذه اللغة يا سراء لغة العالم المتقدم، لغة العالم اللي بيفهم، اللي بيخترع.
The language of the world that understands and does things.
لا يا فرفور، انت غلطان عشان انت بتعرفش ان المسلمين هم اساس الحضارة.
Muslims are the basis of civilization.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. It's like pathetic, the stuff that it's always about something like, 1,000 years ago we did this and that and this and that, and that you go to their conferences, because I used to go to like ISNA and stuff like that and sit there and listen. But everything's about, yes, we're really the basis, and we're the ones who gave women rights, and we're the ones who developed science, and we're everything is because it's like, one, you're full of crap. But two, like, how pathetic is this? Again, you've got almost a quarter of the world's population. You've got 49 Muslim majority countries. And you sit there, but 1,000 years ago we're really strong. I don't know. Yeah. It's pathetic, man. It's pathetic.
And no, but in no history class do you learn, in no credible history class do you learn that Muslims are the basis or the foundation of civilization or anything like this. It's just ridiculous.
انت غلطان عشان انت بتعرفش ان المسلمين هم اساس الحضارة وايضا لولاهم لما كان
If not for the Muslims, the world wouldn't have got to where it is today.
لما وصلش العالم للي هو فيه.
This is so ridiculous.
شباب يا صغار، عدنا إليكم ونحن في اشتياق دائم رؤيتكم في برنامجكم الأسبوعي رواد الغد، والذي نضع وإياكم حجر الأساس لقيادة العالم بقيادة إسلامية.
Wow, yeah, that's the priorities. That's what you need to teach children, to become to build the cornerstone, to rule the world under Islam. That's what you need to teach the children.
We're proud of that.
That's what you need to teach the children. Farfour, thank you, Farfour, for teaching us these wonderfully important.
This is children's broadcasting as produced by Hamas-run television in Gaza.
Hamas TV.
Colorful scenery. Instead of songs and stories, the show serves up political ideology disguised as cuddly animals. The latest character to join the program is Asud the rabbit, and he comes with a backstory. The young viewers are told that Asud entered Gaza from Egypt after Hamas knocked down the border wall in January. The wooden key he wears round his neck, he says, is the key of return to reclaim Jerusalem from the Zionists.
Yeah, good luck with that one, Rabbit.
This is so messed up.
We educate our children about loyalty, love, understanding, and
Muhammad Ramadan, Asud the rabbit.
more. We also teach them that we have lands stolen by the criminal Zionists.
The rabbit replaces Nahul the bee, who gets his fun from tormenting cats and from throwing stones at a caged
Are you kidding me?
lion. The children get to watch Nahul's antics for several minutes before the show delivers the moral of the story. Don't try this at home. But Nahul makers are unapologetic about how they approach their younger audience.
We want to have children involved, and we care about their reaction to our programs. So we have live shows to make sure that the message is relayed the way we intended.
Perhaps the most famous scene from the children's show, a Mickey Mouse lookalike being beaten to death by an Israeli. It could be a case of television imitating life. After all, death and violence lurk around every corner in Gaza. But there are concerns both inside and outside Palestine about the long-term effects this will have on young.
For some reason, the Dawa community and so on, they never understand anything, how this looks to anyone else until you somehow reverse it. Like, they don't get why fight those who do not believe in Allah is any sort of problem. But if you were to say fight those who believe in Allah, suddenly they would see it as a problem. If you took if you were to say, hey, don't be friends with Muslims, they would say, oh, look at this. This is bigoted and intolerant. But the Quran says don't take Jews and Christians as your friend. That's fine. So it's always this one directional thing. But think about this. If Israeli Jews got caught having a kids program where kids are trained to grow up and attack Palestinians, they would suddenly understand it as like completely like psychopathic, monstrous stuff. And yet that's what they're doing to kids, and no problem whatsoever. But if anyone else in the world were doing this, if you and I were making a kid show like this, telling people to guard against, Islam and so on, they wouldn't stop talking about it. It would be, look at this, look at what these monsters are doing. This is Islamophobia. And yet you've got, training kids from the time they're toddlers to hate Jews, to blame Jews for everything, and to want to kill Jews. And it's fine.
They will then say it's all the Jews' fault. Why are you defending them? Let's see what happens here. Hamas hosts children of suicide terrorist Reem Riashi, and they are shown their mother's reenactment of the suicide bombing. Let's see. So let's see. Children in Hamas studio are shown video reenactment of terrorist Reem Riashi preparing for suicide bombing in front of her daughter.
I mean, this is a long time ago, so these kids are grown by now. So
yeah.
Whatever these kids are now. It's the worst sound I've ever heard in my life. Sounds like a screeching.
المجاهدة البطلة التي صراحة يعني ضحت بكل ما عندها من أجل وطنها ولم تأبه يعني هم فلذات أكبادها حتى أنها ضحت في سبيل الله ضحت من أجلهم في سبيل الله ونحن نقول للمحتل.
I mean, imagine this is what is this? This was 2008. The people who watched this, the kids who watched this, are grown-ups and probably, I don't know, participated in the terrorist attacks or cheered for them.
Oh, I guarantee you, some of the kids who were watching this right now are people who did the October 7th massacre.
Yeah.
بأننا سنظل على نهج.
Look, she says, this little girl says, this is our message to the occupier, so the Zionists, Israel, that we will continue in the footsteps of the martyr.
سنظل على نهجها على نهج الشهيدة المجاهدة ريم رياشي حتى
fighter Reem Riashi until we liberate our homeland from your hands.
أيديك الغاصبة.
بديك الأمانة قبل ما أموت، بتمنى أنك تحافظ عليها الأمانة هذه يا فرفور.
وإيش الأمانة هذه يا جدي اللي لازم أحافظ عليها؟
إن إحنا الأرض أيام 48، هذه الأرض يا سيدي أنا ورثتها من آبائي وأجدادي، بتمنى أنك تحافظ عليها. هذه الأرض أرض جميلة كلها مزروعة بالورد بالشجر الزيتون والنخل، بتمنى أنك تحافظ عليها يا فرفور.
وإيش اسم هذه الأرض يا جدي؟
هذه الأرض اسمها تل الربيع، أما لقيت يا خسارة اليهود سموها تل أبيب بعد ما احتلوها وأخذوها يا جدي. هذه الأمانة بتمنى أنك تحافظ عليها يا فرفور، وهذا المفتاح بيكون معك لما ترجع البلاد. لما ترجع البلاد بتفتح فيه يا فرفور. أنا يا فرفور
هذا يا جدي المفتاح.
هذا المفتاح. هذه كمان وراق تثبت كمان الأرض إلنا يا فرفور. هذه أمانة معك يا فرفور. اوعى تفرط بالأرض يا فرفور. اوعى تفرط بالأرض يا فرفور.
يا جدي ما تخافش.
أنا يا فرفور تعبان كتير.
لا يا جدي.
حاسس حالي بدي أموت.
لا يا جدي.
حاسس حالي إني قريب من أرض الربيع.
لا يا جدي.
بتمنى يا جدي إنك تحافظ عليها.
حاضر يا جدي.
أنا يا جدي. أنا يا جدي.
لا يا جدي.
أنا يا جدي. اقعد حبيبي فرفور، اقعد ارتاح.
مانيش قاعد.
اقعد حبيبي فرفور.
يا فرفور طيب هاني متقعد. احكي لي شو بدك؟
سمعنا فرفور انه سيدك اعطاك مفاتيح الارض والوراق.
مين قال لك هذا الكلام؟
انت ما إلك مين قال فرفور، لكن المطلوب فرفور.
طيب وايش المطلوب هذاك مني؟
المطلوب فرفور انه تعطينا اوراق الارض.
اوراق الارض اللي جدي اعطاني اياهم امانه عشان احافظ عليهم وعشان احرر فيهم القدس واحرر لما
بدنا نشتري الأرض شري يا فرفور، بدنا نديك مصاري كتير، بدك تاخد مصاري كتير فرفور، وناخد الأوراق فرفور، أوراق ولا حاجة فرفور.
لا مش احنا اللي بنبيع أراضينا لناس إرهابيين.
فرفور بدك تجيب الأوراق، يعني بدك تجيب الأوراق.
مش سايب الأوراق ومش سايب مش سايب الأوراق.
فرفور
نعم مش سايب لك الأوراق.
بدك تجيب الأوراق فرفور، بدك تجيب الأوراق فرفور.
خلاص بتاعتك الأوراق.
بدك تجيبه، يعني بدك تجيبه فرفور.
مش سايبه لناس مجرمين، لناس أندال، لناس إرهابية.
احنا أندال، احنا إرهابية فرفور. خد 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 جيب لي اوراق لك فرفور.
نعم أحبابنا الأطفال، لقد فقدنا أعز صديق لنا، فرفور. لقد استشهد فرفور وهو يدافع عن أرضه، يدافع عن أرض آبائه وأجداده. استشهد على أيدي المجرمين القتلة، قتلت الأطفال الأبرياء، وقتلت إيمان حجة، قتلت محمد الدرة وغيرهم الكثير.
This little girl, it'd be interesting to like follow her life, but I mean, based on this, you'd have to say it's most likely that she grows up like this, and now she's had 8 kids, and she's raised them all to be martyrs.
Uh-huh.
Returned for a suspension of Israeli military action against Hamas members. Since that time, both sides have argued that the other has failed to keep its commitments under the ceasefire agreement. This video is airing on the Hamas-run television station, appearing while children are home on summer recess. The dialogue encourages parents to, quote, teach the children that their death will bring glory and victory.
إنه عاصمة فلسطين لازم إحنا ندافع عن القدس ونخليش اليهود يهدمها.
يعني إحنا لازم نقاتل اليهود وما نخلي اليهود يخشوا على الأقصى. وأنت بتحبي الأقصى ولا بتحبي بابا أكتر؟
بحب الأقصى.
شطورة من بابك.
These kids said, you know, their whole existence is about fighting and taking Al-Aqsa back from the Jews, and
by the way, if people who are watching don't know the situation, how insane this is, Muslims have their mosque. It's Al-Aqsa Mosque. They go there, they pray there, they preach messages there, and somehow it's like this obsession. Oh, we have to rescue Al-Aqsa because the Jews are going to want to take it at some point. So we have to preemptively rescue Al-Aqsa from them by destroying them all, or they're going to take it. They've been saying for decades the Jews are going to run up there and take Al-Aqsa Mosque, which we still, you know, have our services in and so on. Anyway, weird stuff.
I'm wondering what this caption here says. Makanat al-Masjid al-Aqsa.
It says Darka Muhammad Jihad Allah Jihad Muhammad.
In Atfal, something about the mosque.
Who is this? Who's this kids? Dork? What? Look at this dork character, man. What happened to the mouse? I know the mouse died, man.
Hey, wait a minute. This looks like
the mouse was way cooler.
ولو احنا مشينا بشرائع الدين وتمسكنا بالدين وكنا أمة واحدة وصلينا الفجر في المسجد واتبعنا الشرائع الدينية أكيد هتتحرر فلسطين. صح ولا لا؟
بالتأكيد. يعني أول حاجة يجب علينا إيش؟ نلتزم بطاعة الله عز وجل والصلاة في المسجد ونلجأ إلى الله عز وجل.
It says place of the mosque Al-Aqsa by children.
علينا بالدعاء. صح ولا لا؟
صحيح.
وأيضا
الجهاد في سبيل الله. الجهاد هو إيش يا فكور؟ هو السلام الإسلام.
So what they are teaching here is we have to be good Muslims. We have to obey Allah. We have to pray. We have to do all of these things. And what do we then have to do? We have to do jihad. We have to fight for Allah to take back Al-Aqsa, because this is more important than anything. It's more important than our parents. It's more important than our own life. This is how it is.
True.
أيضا إنه اليهود المجرمين قاعدين بخططوا وبيعملوا أنفاق من تحت إيش المسجد الأقصى المبارك عشان
it literally says the criminal Jews. Like that's what they are saying.
There's that saying that keeps coming up that tell me what you're accusing the Jews of doing, and I'll tell you what you're doing. It's like these are the world champion tunnel diggers of the universe, right? And constantly digging out tunnels to attack the Jews. And so what do they accuse the Jews of? They're digging tunnels. They're digging tunnels. When what they're actually doing is archaeological excavations in the area, because it's probably the coolest area in the world to do archaeological excavations and so on.
Yeah.
But anytime they're digging around any of there looking for old tunnels and stuff, you see, they're trying to dig under the Al-Aqsa Mosque to let the earth swallow it up. Guys, for the 487 millionth time, if Israel decided to destroy Al-Aqsa Mosque right now, it could be gone in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
ايش يسووا؟ نسيت ايش بدهم يعملوا الهي بدهم يحطوا بدل قبة الصخرة الهي ايش اسمه؟
هيكل المزعوم. انت الحفريات هذه.
They want to build a false temple. Oh, that's what they're saying. The Jews have this. The criminal Jews have the secret plan of building the false temple in place of the Al-Aqsa, which is what is supposed to be there. That's what they want to do. We cannot allow them to do that, children.
هذا اللي تحت المسجد الأقصى هيجي يوم ما راح يضل شيء تحت المسجد الأقصى والمسجد الأقصى.
طب هم ايش بدهم يسووا؟
With all of the digging under Al-Aqsa, there will be nothing left, and then it will just fall down. That's the great logic.
بدنا بصدورنا إن شاء رب العالمين.
إن شاء الله.
ما ننساش أيضا عشان المسجد الأقصى وعشان ندافع من المسجد الأقصى إلنا سنوات نقاتل شهداء ضحوا من أجل المسجد الأقصى ومن أجل فلسطين، صح ولا لا؟
صحيح.
وأيضا
Yeah, it's true.